Bitcoin just did something it has done only a few times in its entire history. It crashed 50% in just 6 months, from 126,000 to $66,000 today. And right now the internet is screaming all around, sell, run away. Crypto Twitter is panicking. Portfolios are bleeding. Fear is everywhere at this stage. And let me ask you something here. Why does always Bitcoin drop when everyone becomes bullish? Why do the biggest crashes happen when confidence is highest? And why does it recover right after most people give up? Think about those questions, because if you've been around for at least one cycle, you've seen this, you understand this. It almost feels like it's engineered, but it's not a conspiracy. It's something much simpler, and that thing is liquidity. Markets move to find liquidity. Liquidity is where the money is sitting. Stop losses, liquidation levels, panic, exits. Every time someone sets a stop loss below a certain support, for example, I'm having my stop loss below this lower part of the channel here, this creates a target. Every time traders go over leveraged long, they create a liquidation pool. Markets move like water. It flows to where the most orders are. So what is happening right now? At 66,000, the reality is that late buyers from between 80 and 100k, those who are overly confident at that stage, they are getting stopped out right now. Shorts are entering aggressively, and I'm going to show you the liquidation heat map shortly. Fear exploding across social media. Google searches for Bitcoin crash, Bitcoin is dead, are spiking. That's a massive liquidity event. And when that happens, price gets pulled always towards the levels that hurt the most people. Not manipulation, just simple market mechanics. And this is the liquidation heat map for Bitcoin that I want to show you here. This is where big traders could get forced out of their positions. You have two sides. The red one is long liquidations, people betting that Bitcoin goes up. So if price drops into these zones that you see here, into these price levels, their positions get liquidated. That's the so-called forced selling. On the other side of this chart, the green part, this is your short liquidations, people betting that Bitcoin goes down. So if price rises into these zones, into these price targets, their positions get liquidated, and that is forced buying. You also have the vertical bars here, vertical spikes. They show how much money is stacked at each price level. Big spikes, of course, means that a lot of traders will be liquidated there. Small spikes, not much impact in those zones. The key idea here, price often moves toward areas with a lot of liquidity because the market hunts those liquidations. It creates fuel for bigger moves. So traders watch these zones like targets, like magnets. And the current situation that we have right now, Bitcoin at $66,000 within that range, below price, more longs already cleared out. That's the red side of the chart. Above the current price, still large clusters of short liquidations. That's your green part. What that means? That means if Bitcoin goes up, it could trigger a massive short squeeze, forced by pressure. You can see the number over here is much larger than the accumulative amount of Bitcoin. So this means a lot of people are betting that Bitcoin will go to the downside, and their stop losses are, as you can see, in the 70s, 18s, 90s and above. If Bitcoin goes up, more traders will be hurt, and this is usually the likely scenario. Market mechanics always want to eliminate the majority of the people. Now, on the other side, we have the extreme fear signal. If we look at the fear and greed index, we have 46 consecutive days of extreme fear. 46. That hasn't happened since the 2022 FTX collapse. And what happened after that? Back in 2022, after the FTX collapse, Bitcoin went from 16k to 30k in 6 months. That's not a prediction. This is just a simple pattern. I want to tell you that we are following a very similar pattern and structure right now. But of course, here we are not talking just about, market indicators or technical analysis. It's about the overall financial system. The Federal Reserve is stuck. Inflation still above target. Oil above $100 a barrel. Rate cuts, they are getting delayed. Just 2 weeks ago, markets expected a rate cut. Now the probability has dropped sharply. And Bitcoin dropped with it. No surprise for any of us. Because Bitcoin doesn't exist in isolation, as you know, it reacts to liquidity conditions. Retail investors, we are panicking. I want to tell you 3 points. What institutions are doing while retail investors are waiting for 40, 30k and so on for Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, fact 1, the so-called now strategy. They are holding 762,000 Bitcoin already. And they're raising $42 billion to buy more $42 billion they are raising right now to buy more Bitcoin. Fact 2. You've got BlackRock. They're withdrawing thousands of Bitcoin from exchanges. That's not selling, that's accumulation. Fact 3. Whale wallets. These are at record highs. So ask yourself, who is buying at this panic selling? Because every seller needs a buyer, right? And right now, that's not retail investors. Retail investors are fearful and waiting for lower prices, but institutions are acting. And if we briefly go back to October 2022, Bitcoin was sitting at 16K. Fear was extreme. The same situation. Headlines were catastrophic. Everyone said it was over. Then what happened? Bitcoin rallied 430% in the next year. Now look at today. We are down 50%. Extreme fear for weeks now, months. There is sentiment everywhere. History doesn't repeat necessarily, but it rhymes. And we have two scenarios that I'm personally watching for right now. Two paths. Path number 1, Bitcoin reclaims 70K. This becomes a bear trap, and all these consecutive days in fear was the bottom. The next move is only higher. Path number 2, or scenario number 2, Bitcoin loses the 66K right now and it breaks below 60K. Panic accelerates, lower levels get tested. Nobody knows which one plays out, unfortunately. But the data is giving us clues. And the data that I'm talking about, if we zoom all the way out, 20 million Bitcoin is already mined. Only 1 million left. Institutions accumulating, global uncertainty rising. This isn't just a market, it's a shift in trust. Every Bitcoin buyer today is making a very clear statement. I trust the maths more than the system. And this is what big players are doing right now. The math is clear. Bitcoin is scarce. So we are in extreme fear, Bitcoin at 66K. You have two options. Say, I saw this opportunity, I acted. Or say, I let fear control me, and I'm just now in the sidelines. That's for me today. Thanks so much for watching.